Welcome to the Den of Tools.
Howdy ho, guys and gals, it's Red, your friendly neighborhood tool bear, back again here in the old Den of Tools. And today we're here to answer the question of what is the best folding work table that your money can buy. And as you saw probably in the intro, we're talking mostly about the Hart, but we're going to cover all of them. But I got the Hart in the shop. I know I've talked about this a bunch before, but the bear's excited about this, and at this kind of price, it kind of blows everyone else away. Let me show you what this thing can do real quick. Now, if you remember, I demoed this table while I was doing my video on that little teeny tiny adorable Hart miter saw. And one of the questions I got was, how did I clamp it to the table? How did I mount it? And I just used the mounting system that was built into it. The saw just happened to fit perfectly. It's just clamped front and back. It's not clamped down. It's not bolted down. As you see, it's good enough I can pick up the entire table by the saw. Another question that pops up a lot is, how quickly can this table get set up? What do you need to do? Honestly, it takes about a second for the initial setup. Let me show you real quick. Oh, did you miss it there? All I did was I pressed the locking button on either side with my thumb, gave it a quick little flick, the legs come out. It takes literally a second to do that part. Let me show you real quick here. Watch the shadow. This is in 5 times slowed down, 20% speed. You see, you press those buttons and the legs just snap out. It's really that simple. There's one step after that, and that's just lifting up and locking this little inner mesh gate thing in place. But, what about with a full-size table saw? I know a lot of you are saying, can it handle a full-size table saw? Well, here's the new Bauer 12-inch sliding miter saw. This is a big saw, okay? This is, it's full-size, 12-inch blade. I've got it clamped down on the back. Of course, that means it's not clamped down on the front. There could be another way to do this, add some more clamps, maybe bolt it to a sheet of wood, bolt that to the table. I could see modding this table for a specific saw. It wouldn't be that hard to do. I don't know, what do you think? Could you see yourself using something like this? It definitely seems to work for me. Now, let's talk about the clamping system that's on it. You got the 2 channels here. You got your basic ratcheting, plastic ratcheting clamp system here. They fit into honestly, they fit in pretty easily. It took me a hot second or two to kind of get it all worked out. But, you squeeze the trigger there, it lowers down, it clamps in. Pretty easy to get out. And you can use these around the table. They even have these 2 large slots here in the middle, which are perfectly designed to clamp vertically just like that. And, the only thing I wish they'd done a couple more of these around the table to give you some different mounting positions. And also, it's got built-in storage for the clamps underneath. But I know the question that everyone's asking the bear is, how tough is this? Can it take a beating? Well, as you saw in the intro, it goes downhill just fine. And you know what we say? If they're down, kick them. I left the clamps on there on purpose. Yeah, one more time with a little emphasis there. This thing holds up. It really does. Well, there you go, and we'll talk more about the Hart and how to buy it at the end, but let's just jump through quick brief history and some of your options out there when it comes to folding work tables. Back in the day, this was it. If you wanted a portable work table, it was 2 sawhorses and a board, and that was all you had. Then came along the Black & Decker Workmate. This was a big deal. I can remember years and years ago as a cub myself, watching the infomercials on TV about this thing, that, it did it all. But, it was the first of its kind, and it really kind of broke ground there. And, there may have been others before this, but this was, let's say it was the first truly successful product in the market. Now, of course, anything that's successful gets clones and copycats. Here we've got, this is a Wen table for $73.44. You've got this generic professional woodworker table for $47. Even Harbor Freight got in on the game with their little folding table for $21.99. But you know what? Things advance, technology moves on, and we got all sorts of new products out there. This 7-in-1 multi-purpose workbench, it does it all. I mean, look at this thing. It's a workbench. It's a step stool. It's a dolly. It probably makes you breakfast in the morning if you talk to it right. I don't know how these things go. It does a lot of a different tasks there. It's pretty cool. And, they even got it there set up with, clamping station and whatnot. But these things run $170. And maybe that's not what you're looking for. All right. Over at Lowe's, they've got this thing from Cobalt. I don't even know where to start with this thing. I've looked at this thing in stores. Yeah, you could put a miter saw on it. Look, they're putting it catty corner, like angled. I don't get it. The price on it's $50. If you have one of these and you like it, I'd like to hear your comments down below. It just seems a bit oddball. It seems the size is kind of small. I don't know. Maybe the bear just doesn't get that one. All right. Then Rockler came out with this. It kind of reminds you of the Black & Decker, but it taken to the next level. The wings fold down. It can be used as a sawhorse. It can be used as a working table. It's got that clamp rail down the middle. This is a real work of art here. Of course, it's made by Craig, so it's got the shiny blue paint on it. $169. Of course, as I said, anything that's done well gets copied. Works here comes out with their own version called the Pegasus folding table. They put the clamping rails on either side, so you have two clamping rails. Now, one of the things that's cool about Works, actually maybe we'll get to it in just a second here, but it's got a lot of features and options as well. Then they also have this thing. Now, this is, let's see, it's $53.69 on Amazon. We're here on QVC for some reason. $59.99 there. This thing, I've never used it. I'll be honest. I've never even seen it. I've used, or at least seen a lot of the ones in this. But one of the neat features about it is that little orange figure 8 thing there, right? Well, if you saw it, that's on the other one as well. It's right there. That allows them to interlock. You can put them next to each other. You pick it up, you turn it, and locks onto the next one. So you can actually build a full-size work table out of it. Interesting concept. I kind of like it. Of course, I could just clamp tables together. There's other ways to make that happen. But this thing, when I look at those legs, you know what I think of? I think of, camping chairs. And we always know how the whole camping chair fiasco turns out, don't we? All right. Well, modern age, we're up to the atomic age now. And of course, that means plastics. And they've done so many wonderful things with corrugated plastic and that kind of stuff. And, and sometimes they're not so wonderful. Sometimes they don't quite, live up to their expectations. But then we've got stuff like this from Husky still over at Home Depot. And by looking at this again, we got this, formed plastic here, giving it kind of a unibody construction there. And these look pretty cool. Now, something like this is going to run you $79.97. And looking at this makes me think Keter, Keter. If you've never heard of Keter, they make a lot of the stuff, a lot of the plastic toolboxes and stuff come from these guys. They also do outdoor lawn furniture. And they developed this table. As you can see, this is the exact same thing as the Hart that we're talking about at the beginning. They make all of these. Any table you see like this, that's made by Keter, and there's a lot of them out there. So we had the Hart one before. We have just the plain up Keter table available over here on the Amazons for $89.75. You can also find it at Northern Tool for $89.99. Now, here's the deal at Northern Tool right now. They make an adjustable version of this table also. Now, a lot of people seem to think that these holes up here are where the adjustable portion was. Those are just relief cuts, something for the structural part of the tubing there. The actual adjustable part is down here at the bottom, and you got 3 levels of adjustability, which is great if you're using it between, say, a miter saw and a table saw, because a table saw, you want that lower, because the table saw isn't going to raise up, because you're working off the top of the table saw, but you're working off the bottom of the miter saw. All right, that's the difference there. This is also, you can find it at Sam's Club. They've got it on sale for $59.98. And you can even find it on Etsy for a slight markup. These Etsy sellers, man, they get me. They get the bear going. Okay, now back to the Hart table that we were talking about before. Why are we so excited about this? Why is the bear going on and on about this table? Well, it's a fantastic table. It's got a work surface that's big enough to hold a full-size 12-inch sliding miter saw or a tabletop or your work pieces, all sorts of stuff. It's got an integrated clamping system. It also folds up really easy. It sets up in a matter of seconds. Let's be honest about that. It's robust. You can knock that thing around. You can do all sorts of stuff to it. And at this price, $54, this is the lowest price we've seen on a table like this yet. Now, the price before this, I've been talking about the Hart table for a while now, because at $64, which was the original price, it was a steal of a deal, considering that, other tables like this sell for $89.99. We got the one out here, $89.75. $59.98 is probably the best other deal that you're going to find if there's not a Walmart near you. You probably don't live in the U.S., but in that case, you can go to Sam's Club. You can get it for $60 there. Also, don't forget, there's that offer on Etsy. I mean, that's a tempting offer. But the fact of the matter is, at this price, this is the buy it now price. This is you're not likely to see this cheaper. Yeah, you may find a closeout here and there, but the reality is, at this price, why would you wait? Bird in the hand and all that. I'm going to have a link down below to the BrickSeek on this, so you can try and find it for yourself. You can also try and order it directly off of Amazon. I don't know if they're shipping it. Also, it's free deliveries. Arrives by February 26th, so even if you don't want to run out to the store, you can order it online at Walmart. I just have to say real quick, I'm clearly not the first YouTuber who talked about this or saw the stand or review it. The guys over at Tools in Action did a fantastic job taking a look at this table and putting it through its paces. I'm chuckling because that's one of them standing on the bench. At one point, they had two guys on it. At this point, it's an engine block and one of the guys standing on it. When they say this thing has a good weight capacity, it really does, and they stand behind it. I do recommend you go check out this video. If nothing else, then to help support their channel. They're good guys over there. They do good content. Anyway, speaking of which, helping out the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. Ringing that bell. You got to ring the bell because YouTube does not believe you. We got through this year already. They won't believe you unless you've rung the bell. Anyway, you all take care. God bless. And as always, come on, say it with the bear. Shine on.